Me big monster, me attack, me strong.
But then if you look closely, it wasn't the head, that was just the belly. And today we are gonna see how to fight Grogoroth in fear and hunger. First of all, in order to reach him, you have to gain access to the Gauntlet. To gain access, you have to kill the 3 purple organs scattered across the dungeon. 1 in the level 7 basement near the guard, 1 in the deeper thicket in the up left corner of the map, and 1 in the Golden Temple in Mahabre in the present. After you do all of these, do you remember in the Cave Dweller village there is a weird entity with a mouth closed? Well, now that we cut off the 3 organs, the mouth is gonna be opened, and it's gonna lead you to the Gauntlet. There are a few peculiar gimmicks in the Gauntlet, so if you want me to make a separate video explaining how to navigate through the Gauntlet, let me know in the comments. But anyways, once you reach the end of this place, if you don't have the girl in your party, you're gonna be able to find Grogoroth. Also, funny thing about this cutscene, if you have Najra in your party, Najra is gonna start trash-talking Grogoroth. And we may say that Grogoroth doesn't take it too well because boom, yeah, you won't have access to Najra during this final battle. But there is something even more interesting. If you don't have Najra in your party, the cutscene will play regardless and you will still see the boom, but it's time to enter into the battle. So, what does he do? Whoa, calm down. Look closely to what happens now. I want you to remember that the eyes blink at the start of the battle. This will be important later, okay? Let's continue. First of all, let's talk about the basic stuff. Both the arms are gonna use always Claw of a God, which is a very powerful physical attack which does 45 damage and has a 100% chance to cut off one of your arms. Then there is the torso with 66% chance of doing nothing, but 33% chance of using Burning Gaze, which is an AoE attack which deals 35 fire damage. For the next attack, we have to talk about a very special mechanic of Grogoroth. So, at the start of the battle, he is gonna open up to 2 eyes he has on the body, and in particular at the end of every 3 turns from this moment he is gonna close all the eyes and open up to 2 more eyes. Why am I mentioning the eyes though? Because only at the end of the turn in which they are opened, and only in that turn, all the opened eyes are gonna use Squirts a Molten, which deals 35 fire damage and has a 95% chance to burn you. These are all the attacks he does periodically. Now let's talk about some singularities. So, at the very start of the battle, and only at the very start of the battle, he is gonna use Whispers of Grogoroth, which deals 35 mind damage on a random party member, and that party member is also gonna get cursed. What does this mean? That there is gonna be a countdown starting from 5, going down at the end of each turn, and once it reaches 0, the party member that was cursed is gonna die immediately. There is a peculiarity though. If you use a Purifying Talisman on the cursed party member, then the countdown is gonna stop immediately, basically saving your party member. And no, before you ask, this does not work in the Valtail battle, which also does Whispers of Grogoroth. This does not work there, only in the Grogoroth battle. And since we are talking about the start of the battle, there is another peculiarity. As you can see, all your characters are gonna get Phobia when starting the battle. This means you will take 50% more physical damage and you will have basically 0 evasion. Oh, and do I have to remind you that Claw of a God is a physical attack? Before entering into some strategies, it's time to talk about some shenanigans. So, if you use Leg Sweep on Grogoroth, you are gonna immediately kill all the 3 eyes on the left side of the body, and only those. And also if you destroy both the arms, the torso is gonna get the weakness debuff, which means it's gonna take 50% more physical damage and is gonna have 0 evasion. And then there is the usual problem we saw in a lot of other enemies. So, the amount of party members you have in your party may condition the attack order of your party members and of the opponent. In particular, with 3 party members and 4 party members, sometimes Grogoroth will just decide to attack first. I made several tests, and what I was able to gather is if you have 1 or 2 party members, you are perfectly fine. If you have 3 or 4 party members, he tends to start with the right arm, and then the torso and the left arm sometimes will attack after you got 2 turns total. Remember, the order I just said will not be always the same. I just wanted to precise to you that if you have more party members, he may attack first. And now it's time for my favorite part of the spaghetti code of this battle. So, You remember the eyes blink at the start of the battle? Well, you may not know this, but the eyes blinking causes the boss to become much weaker. Let me explain. The eyes are supposed to have, when closed, 1500 HP, and when opened, 100 HP, except for the big eye, that one. That one has 300 HP when opened. But because of this blinking animation, what happens is the HP of the closed eyes is not restored to maximum when transforming. And so the closed eyes are gonna have the same HP of their respective opened eye, so they're gonna have either 100 or 300 HP, making it very easy for you to kill them. Apart from this, the arms have 3000 health and the torso has a grand total of 6000. First, let's do a strategy with 3 party members. Remember, I am literally using the starting equipment of this character, but allow me to use 1 White Angel Soul on the main character, and also you may need some healing capacity, either magic or items, and pheromones. Also, absolutely, remove the fur outfit if you have it, because it increases the fire damage, and in this battle the fire damage is the main problem you have. The plan is to set up a tank using pheromones, while also mitigating the damage from the eyes. The eyes are the most problematic parts, especially in the first turn. After the first turn, find your time in order to be able to poison the torso using a throwing dart. Just put a dot on him. Once there is a dot, the battle is in a winning position. You just need to manage your resources for around 6 turns. If you also have the time, kill some more eyes, because those are really the main problem. But I know you want a strategy for going solo against Grogoroth. Alright, of course you will need Greater Blood Golem for this setup. What I'm gonna use is the Purified Eastern Sword, Penance Armor, and White Angel Soul. The Cursed Blue Sin in this battle is better than the Purified Eastern Sword, but imagine you don't have it. So, the first turn is entirely RNG, because you have to summon your Blood Golem, but if Grogoroth attacks you too many times, then you're gonna die regardless. But with this strategy, if you survive the first turn, then it's much easier for the rest of the battle. After that, in fact, find the time to use a Purifying Talisman on yourself, kill some of the eyes, and remember to put a dot on the torso. At that point, the battle is secured. Even if the Blood Golem dies during the battle, you don't care. The Blood Golem was there only to survive the very first turn of the battle. After that, it's a piece of cake. As long as you kill the eyes, of course. Also, if you have Leg Sweep, of course, it can help because it kills 3 eyes in one single move, which, I mean, it's guaranteed value, so there is no reason to not do that. There are also some other strategies I tried, in which I tried to combine the hard leather armor with some heavy piece of equipment like the Gaunt Bassinet or the Stone Crown in case you are Enki, and while that strategy worked, it still felt less consistent than this one with the Penance Armor, because you just have to have luck one single turn. But hey, if you don't have luck, you can also cheat. You see, there is a particular strategy I want to talk about, because I think some of you may actually like it. It involves the Old Guardian Soul. Basically, the setup is the same of the Penance Armor strategy, but instead of equipping the White Angel Soul, you have to equip the Old Guardian Soul. What happens is, on the first turn, you're gonna use a fast attack to gain an extra turn for the rest of the battle. Then, the eyes are gonna kill you, but we have the Old Guardian Soul. And you know what's the funny part? For how the game is programmed, if you reach 0 HP at the end of the turn because of an attack that happens at the end of the turn, like the eyes, the Old Guardian Soul will not be removed from your equipment. So if you heal instantly, you basically keep the Old Guardian Soul and surpass the first turn without problems. After that, you can do what you want. You can create a Blood Golem, you can put a dot on the torso. You are basically immortal as long as you have healing capacity with the Old Guardian Soul in this fight. The defense guaranteed from the Penance Armor is enough to resist both the Claw of a Gods and the Burning Gaze in the worst case. And overall, even if this is technically a bug, I still like this strategy because I love abusing the Old Guardian Soul. And oh boy, this fight may be one of my favorite fights of the game for how punitive it is. And I can't deny I love being able to see Najra exploding over and over again every single time.